Let's break down how to plan a project from start to finish by comparing it with something I believe every one of us has done before: planning a trip. If you haven't planned the trip before, I don't know, you know, that's something I feel like everybody has done. So, let's get right into it. The initiation phase is usually the first step in the project life cycle. When comparing it to planning a trip, first thing you do is decide where you want to go. You define your destination. You make sure everyone involved is on board. Like if you're going with your friends, you almost have agreed that okay, this is the destination we want to go to, right? And also this is where you identify the purpose of that trip. Like what are we going there to do? Are we going for on a vacation? Are we, going on a business trip? Set the initial parameters. The second stage in the project management lifecycle is the planning phase. So in this phase, when comparing to planning a trip, here is where you map out the details. So you're going to plan your itinerary. You want to know where you stay when you get there. How will you get there? Do you need a visa? This is the main planning phase. Here, you're creating a detailed plan, figuring out your budgets, what would fit into our budget. You're setting a timeline. How long do I plan to stay there? Do I want to stay 2 weeks, a week? Here you are putting the piece of the puzzle together. And if you're going in a group, you can even assign tasks to people. You can say, okay, praise, can you help us get the visas, apply for the visa? This is where you plan everything, and this is where you determine who works on what. Third stage is the execution phase. Here's where you put the plan into action. And when planning the trip, this is definitely going to be the fun part, which is actually going on the trip. You've got everything planned, and now it's time for you to execute. So let's say you're traveling, you probably get on the plane, and just find your way there. Your trip is just about just getting from point A to point B, and just navigating your way around how to get there and adapting if anything comes up or if things changes from what you have planned. The monitoring phase, this is where you try to keep everything on track. Likening it to the trip, this is where if you encounter any delays, get lost, or just find any it's just something unexpected comes up, this is where you monitor things and adjust as needed, right? In project management, it is the monitoring and controlling phase. This is where you track the project's progress, check if things are going wrong, if things are on schedule, and just make adjustments where necessary. And the last phase is the closure phase. So since we're talking about the trip, this would be when you're back from the trip, you're discussing with your friends. If you went with your friends, or if you went alone, you just kind of gisting them and telling them, "Oh, my trip went great. I did this." Like just reflect, you're trying to close it up. I did this, I did that. Oh, I need to call this person, tell them I've gotten home. Check into my office. I need to, if you set up your out of office emails, you need to maybe you just want to reverse that or just change that up. You are closing that trip, right? If there were any lessons learned, for